Should be working. Looks like it should be working. I don't know. Do you have the YouTube window open? Can they see and hear us?
Yeah, it says offline. Oh, no, it's coming on now, I think.
Now you know I
Yep,
like.
there we are.
Now you know I like pre-taping things. Like we should just do this live. It's less work. I actually think it's much more work. uh, I don't know. Do you want to retweet it or do you want to wait until it works for 5 whole minutes and then we'll talk about it?
Oh wait, yeah, wait till we, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is this happening? All right, I'll retweet it now.
Wait till it. Well, wait. We can wait till. All right. I'm gonna start with this shot because it's easy. Even though there's like a soft Ryan in the background.
Soft Ryan.
Okay. So I have this organized. So if people are watching, could they chime in on the quality of my voice if I'm choppy?
Someone said audio works.
Good. It only took 4 different video platforms to get one that cooperated. We went through Google Meet, Google Hangouts, Zoom, and we ended up in Discord. Discord seems to introduce a bit more latency between Neil and I, but it seems like it doesn't have too many problems with our with my microphone. So
yeah,
I'm Kevin James. This is Neil Cicierega. How you doing, Neil?
hello. I'm doing all right.
We are working on a short film for Guaranteed Video. And we need to finish some special effect shots. I think we have 68 in total, or 67. And honestly, we're about halfway done. We're doing all right. It's about a 5.5 minute video, and it's about a flying car, which I think will become pretty obvious. That's what it's going to be about once you start looking at these shots. We rarely do live streams. And Neil, before we got cut off the first time, this is round 2 tonight, I was asking you if you've ever live streamed yourself working on music.
Yeah, and not really, just because like there's a weird technical aspect to it that's just kind of annoying to get around.
Yeah.
But I also just, I think it would be kind of repetitive and unsatisfying to try and like hear music that I'm like that's half done and I'm just like focusing on little stuff. I don't know. It'd be fun to go through some songs sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometime.
So I'm looking at this right now, Neil, and I can already tell the delay on Discord is going to drive me nuts because I'm so bad at waiting my turn to talk. But I can already tell there's a little bit of dance back here behind Ryan, like just the edge of the door, because we shot a lot of this in soft focus intentionally, selective focus, I guess, just to make the interior of this car look more interesting. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do like a freeze around the window frame here, because no one gets in front of that, right? That part of the frame is pretty static. It's the stuff behind Ryan, between you and Ryan, that is going to be tricky. There's no green spill anywhere, so this actually is a pretty easy shot, all things considered. What Adobe software is kind of like what feels the most like home to you? Like when you open up an Adobe like editor of any sorts, whether it's Photoshop, Illustrator, like what's the one that's like your go-to?
I mean, I guess Photoshop is the most familiar at this point. I really like After Effects for all of its difficulties.
Same.
I actually like the way that you could. I like the process of stacking effects and linking layers to each other and pre-composing stuff.
Yeah.
It's a cool creative program.
Yeah. You know, I've really gotten into.
Some people are saying that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, some people are saying that there's some video buffering going on.
It's probably Discord competing with YouTube.
Yeah. Here, why don't you stop sharing your screen to me, and I'll just watch the YouTube stream.
Now I gotta fix our composition in OBS.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's not your fault. It's the world that failed us. It's like the end of like a sequel to Stand By Me. That'd be like the last line.
Oh yeah, he's having trouble like getting internet streaming to work correctly.
No.
It's just
I'm
like,
saying
the
he would say
world
it's not
sucks.
you. It's the wheel. It's the world that failed me. What am
Oh,
I doing? What am I
yeah.
doing? Hopefully that fixed it. If it didn't, I got nothing, and I got to keep working. So
Yep.
sorry.
See your Twitter. All right, there we go.
I've been getting more and more into using masks to selectively execute effects within layers, so I don't have to use as many layers to accomplish a certain effect. Ugh, which is handy, but it sometimes just doesn't work because some effects aren't good at handling masks within layers. What's the word on the health of the stream?
I don't see any complaints recently. Let's see. What do we got here? Out there talking about eating lemons right now.
Cute.
What's all this? Oh yes. Thanks for that. Yep, someone said the buffering stopped. I guess the screen share was just one thing too many.
This is like a supercomputer too. I fed a lot. I built a good computer. Neil, you've been talking about getting a new video card, right?
Yeah, I realized mine is like the oldest piece of my current computer.
No.
I just like kept it from the previous one. I don't think it was an especially good card back when I bought it either, so I should probably find something that can handle After Effects stuff. I think it would have to be another NVIDIA
Quadro.
Quadro, yeah.
That's the thing about NVIDIA cards for this kind of work is, you know, you could get like a GeForce card and get like the newest, greatest, latest and spend like a reasonable amount of money. But then the stability is apparently not there. And I always used to think that was a crock. Like, oh, the Quadros are 3 times the money, but they're more stable. But as I've gone on in my career and used them, yeah, they are more stable. I'll give it to them.
It's weird. I've been using like NVIDIA stuff since like 2006, I think.
Yeah.
I think like our first like card that could accept like FireWire transfers might have been NVIDIA.
This already looks okay. This shot. There's really not a lot to do. There is. Nope. Okay. I just gotta make sure there's no reflections. The great thing about the way we shot this is we can actually take advantage of the reflections in your glasses and Ryan's. Like we're frequently getting reflections of like slight green things, and depending on the shot, we can incorporate it because you're in the woods for some of this. So it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
It's a pretty easy shot. That's pretty much done. Well, the background is dancing around a lot, but I guess.
I mean, how noticeable is that level of dance?
It's not the resolution of it; it's the amount of it, right? So the question becomes: do you want to like roto the chair in, sorry, like the seat behind you in? You know what I mean? Because there's like just enough of it, and you also have kind of like a hard black edge around you. And this is still during the daytime. At this point of the video. So what I have been doing is I have been rolling back the clip a little bit on these, like 2 or 3 pixels, and softening the edge on some of these shots because we shot a lot of this at like f2, f1, 8. So there is an inherent softness to the portrait shots of you and Ryan when we're at like 55 or 85 mil. So
yeah.
Do you think I should even bother putting in a background? I guess I have to now, right?
If you have something ready.
It's not terrible. This is where you're going to laugh at me. I've been doing this for every shot. I've been looking through the frame and trying to find any green spill I can find. And I just found some. And I am doing this just with a basic adjustment layer. Like, I'm not doing it economically. Here's a good... Okay, so you and I love showing you these. You see this glitch? I just made an adjustment layer. And now there's like a little you and Ryan.
Yeah, it did that last time, right?
Yeah, it drives me nuts. But the second I do anything with this, within this adjustment layer, it'll go away. Like, literally, I'll click anything. Yep, I didn't even like drag that curve anywhere. But I'm just getting rid of the green on the chair because it's bugging me. Yep. There we go. That's how needlessly far I've gone with this. So at this point in the video, Ryan and Neil are stuck in midair. So let me burn time talking out loud while I look for drone footage. Neil, you're going to have to pick up the slack while I do this because I can't. I'm a poor host while I'm editing.
Yeah, so what Kevin is doing right now is accessing his neighbor's files
using
a secret hacking code. Using a Trojan horse.
I think this is where
so these are this is all drone footage.
Yeah. Did I already do a shot where we look that direction in the car? No. So this is us deciding that angle. I think I'll just use this one. So Ryan, I was mentioning this the other night. Ryan is a drone pilot. Like, he's really into drone photography now. And this project was an awesome way to kind of combine our various skill sets. Like, it's rare to find something that everyone can kind of bring a unique superpower to the table without feeling like you're pigeonholing them. Like, it would suck if, like, every video we made, all you were doing is, like, the music. You know what I mean? So, what do you think of the color here? Do you think the background needs to be brought up a bit, or is it pretty close?
It's pretty close. I don't know. I don't have a good eye for that sort of thing, but this looks kind of realistic, at least filtered through the YouTube stream.
One time we were working on special effects for a video, and I was scrutinizing something, and you said, who cares? Everyone's going to watch it on their watches anyway.
All right, so I retweeted this a minute ago. I'm going to unretweet it just so like we don't... how many... Up to 50 people watching now.
That's plenty.
Okay.
We don't need
unretweeting now.
Is it public? If you go to like YouTube, if you just go to your youtube.com like page, do you see it under subscriptions like Kevin's broadcasting?
I am subscribed to you, right?
Yeah. I hope you are.
Yes. Yeah, it says live now, so it is public.
I've been doing a wiggle expression here of 1 and 6. A wiggle expression is when you can take a value in After Effects and make it sort of pulse, wiggle, and you set the frequency and the amplitude.
It randomized. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've only been doing it once. Actually, you guys are supposed to be stalled by now. So should you just be rock solid? You should be rock solid, but the background should wiggle, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess there should be a little bit so it's like a very like slow wiggle, right?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, am I in the wrong stream? Right here.
You sounded conflicted.
No, I like had the previous stream open in another tab, and I accidentally went into it. I was like, "Why is everyone saying goodbye? What's going on?"
Do you need me to make you? I should probably make you like an admin, right? How do you even do that?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, don't worry about it too much.
Some people are saying weird stuff in the chat.
Oh boy.
Can you just say anything in the chat? That way I can promote you. That seems to be the quickest way to do it.
Oh yeah, sure. I said oh.
Crazy delay. We live in the future. What's the deal? Okay, good. All right, so we got one shot done. That's one of the three. Unless there's something else I think we need to do. I've been occasionally adding a vignette, which is like the great cheat when you want to really unify the color of a certain shot. I'm so glad they added Lumetri color into After Effects like 4 years ago, whenever it was, because it's a great tool. Even though it's basically like something they should have had a long time ago. Basic color correction tools. But that definitely completes the look. That looks a lot better. You can kind of tell the hard edge in the back seat there. But I don't know. I thought by doing the edge replacement with... maybe I should just pick a color outside. Yeah, it actually looks way more convincing. I just replaced the edge color for the back seat with the green of the tree line. Mm-hmm. And I'll do it in the front too. I am no Bob Ross. I cannot make this sound sexy. That's what he's known for, right?
I can't. Yeah, definitely.
That's a. So, did you watch?
Whenever Doug envisioned himself as Bob Ross,
he did.
It always ended with Patty going, "Oh, Doug."
Ah, Doug. Not Skeeter. I can't do Patty.
Pretty close.
Dan and I were talking about the other day how I think Roger Klotz is the best Nicktoon.
Just by himself, yeah.
Roger Klotz. Do you think there's a best Nicktoon?
That's a good question.
No, it's not.
In terms of like impact, in terms of artistic quality,
in terms of impact, he's no chroma.
I mean, well, that's. I mean. So you mean the best character, right?
Yeah, the single best Nicktoon character.
Yeah. I mean, Roger's pretty great. Dog from Cat Dog? No.
No one likes Dog. I saw a really funny take the other day that pointed out... do you remember the episode...
Everyone's saying Invader Zim, by the way, in the chat, so it's got to be Invader Zim.
Oh, it's Invader Zim. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Oh, that's right. This is moving. Hopefully it's not that noticeable. It's time freeze frame. Yeah, it's probably Zim.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are right. I saw a really funny take the other day that pointed out that do you remember so Real Monsters? Remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
There was an episode where Crumb he was hanging out with like his dad or his uncle. Do you remember this? And he had the curse of the crumb, like he lost his ability to smell bad or something.
I vaguely remember like another crumb of some sort.
Right? Okay, so tell me, how does Crumb look? Describe his appearance.
He's like the letter H, kind of.
Yes.
He's basically just like a torso with like armpit hair, legs, arms. The arms are straight up. He's holding his own eyes.
Yep.
There's a nose and a mouth, right?
Yeah. So he's hanging out with his dad, who looks just like him, right? And his dad is explaining that he has a curse. Now his dad, in one hand, is holding an eyeball, right, Neil? In the other hand, he has no other eye. He only has one eye. So his other hand has a little black leather glove on it. And he's wearing an eye patch. So it's like, what a choice touch that that's like, I don't know. That was like a beautiful, a design decision. Like he's like blind in one eye, so to speak. So he's got like this little black leather glove. You'd have to see a picture of him. I think it's a hilarious.
I just looked it up.
That's good, isn't it?
It's good. Yeah. Yep. He's got like a wart on his nose.
Yeah.
He's a little bit bigger than Crumb.
That's how you know he's older.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a little bit of that green that man, we've talked about this
my
before.
glasses.
We've talked about this before. Well, I've talked about it at you, as I like to say. There's a website out there called, I believe, real4k.com, or is it real4k.com, something to that effect. And that website will take 4K Blu-rays and 4K movies on streaming platforms and do a pixel peep analysis to see if the print you're watching is actually 4K, right? Or if it's like upscaled 2K, right? 99% of movies, like big blockbuster movies, are not actually presented to you in 4K because the visual effects are not. Almost all visual effects done in Hollywood are done at 2K because there's a placebo effect with most CG, because ideally you don't have a ton of CG in your movie. You know, ideally it's just when Spider-Man starts to climb up the wall and it looks really bad. But then once Peter Parker's talking to Mary Jane about her play, it's really actors. So it doesn't matter that it's only 2K for those few seconds, right?
Yeah.
But whenever I start really pushing myself to make things look real, I'm reminded that most big budget movies don't care about the resolution of their effects. And I'm pushing, this is all in 4K. This whole skit is 4K, which we rarely do. We rarely do. We've had the ability to do it for like 5 years. We did Friend or Foe in 4K. It looks good.
Yeah. It was a big deal for us.
Right, that fixed that. So there's no longer, I mean, there's still the reflection, but it's not green, so it's nowhere near as noticeable. Right?
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah. See, your old man.
It's funny, I was looking at my glasses a second ago because the green that pops up on them reminds me so much of how light looks when you have anti-reflective coatings.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get it. But like there is a green tint normally.
There's nothing else green in the car, right? I really could just apply an entire. Oh, that's an adjustment. That adjustment layer will affect it. Okay, I'll just do this. Don't mind me. What's the chat saying? They listing their favorite episodes of Ah Real Monsters, which I don't remember much of.
Oh yeah. They're talking about
drugs.
Someone said, wasn't there a problem with the green screen and Neil's skin last stream?
There was. One of the wide shots of the two of you guys, one of the wider shots, your skin was a little too close to green for the tolerance I was working with. So I had to do a secondary color correction on your skin tone to make you just a little less green. Not in this shot. It was on one of your arms. But you and I have talked about this. Like, Ryan's a little more magenta, you're a little more green when it comes to skin tone. Now, because we're closer to you two, I think the wiggle expression needs to be a little more intense, right? Not much more, but maybe like 30% more intense.
I mean, there's probably a way to do it separately for the X and Y, right? If you wanted to kind of bob up and down.
Yeah, just up and down.
I mean, a little bit left and right as well. What you could do is
I'm gonna guess it's you just put in 0 and then 8, or let's see if that works. Yep, that's it. No, wait, you're going diagonal. How do you do a wiggle expression on one axis?
You might need to just do it in both parameters. You separate the X and Y in the position.
Well, that's what I tried. I tried doing like wiggle, like parentheses 1, then.
No, I mean like in the actual like create a new. I don't know what it's called. Usually, there's like if you right click on the over in the left panel there.
Yeah.
And separate the X and Y into separate timelines.
Oh, do it that far back? Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. No, I know what you're saying. Okay, so we're just doing the Y, right? Yeah. I figured we could do. Yeah. I figured there's probably a way to do it within both axes when they're combined, like by doing like wiggle parentheses 1 comma then parentheses X equals then Y equals.
Yeah, there's definitely a way, but it's like wiggle. The wiggle feature knows if it's being applied to like a 2-dimensional point or a 1-dimensional or or even 3-dimensional, I think. So like getting it to spit out two. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. But this way you could put a different wiggle on the x-axis.
I'm trying. The Y is like so unnoticeable. Isn't this like the most enthralling conversation? I'm trying to remind myself that we're not in a podcast, and that's okay if I'm just sort of. Okay, I'm going to do that. That's a really good call. I'm going to apply that exact same wiggle to the previous shot. So first off,
I think, yeah, you could set it to like lower than 1 second, maybe.
You think so?
Maybe. I mean, it depends on how long the shot is. This one's just kind of short.
Yeah. Just need to be an integer. All right, that's 2. There's still a little bit of a dance behind Ryan. It's not the end of the world. It's just one of those things that I think we're hitting the limitation of our color bandwidth in the cameras we use. We shoot 8-bit color. And I think that we had this problem with computer fighters. Remember the 3 helmets? Despite being clearly yellow, blue, and red, the yellow and blue were constantly bleeding into the key you had to do.
Yeah, and you couldn't do like spill correction at all because it would just change the color of our helmets.
Yeah. And like this here...
It was also like the first time I was really using key light, and it was confusing.
I was thinking about that effect you used in that... So you see like the fuzziness here?
Mm-hmm.
It's there when you turn off key, because it's just part of the shot, you know. So I guess we could go in and like manually like, you know what you could do actually. And now that I figured it out, it's gonna open up a can of worms. What if I took another key of Ryan, right? Like duplicated him. I'm pointing like you can see what I'm pointing at, which is asinine. What if I duplicated Ryan here, like that part of the layer, kept the key, made him like say 2-3% bigger, but then really jacked up the contrast on the key on that background layer, and then used that as either a like an alpha matte, or if we use that just as a way to like make that banding around him less noticeable. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not worth it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's probably not worth all that trouble.
Yeah, but that's how you would solve
it. I mean, you could just do like a little bit of a screen pre-blur or something. Just
yeah. I unpre-multiply result usually takes care of that, but I know what you mean with the pre-blur. That sometimes works. I'll audition it here. Like, how far would you go? Like 5 more, I guess.
Oh, let's see. I'm not going to be able to like.
Yeah, you can't scrutinize over the stream. Yeah, forget it. That's pointless. I'll just leave it at 5. That'll smooth it out a little bit. So we got 2 done. What's the chat saying? Are they bored?
Yeah.
Even in droves.
They're all leaving. No, what are we at? No, we're almost up to 100 people watching.
That's about what Dan and I had the other night. It was kind of cool. People were saying really nice things, and
awesome.
We were talking about the Super Bowl, which I assume you also didn't watch.
No.
Yeah.
Was that while you were streaming?
It was actually while I was streaming.
And the
only thing I really wanted to, the only thing that was really on my mind from it was the Springsteen commercial, which bummed me out.
I didn't see it, but I heard you talk about it.
It's very well intentioned, and it's well made, and he wrote it. And at first I was like, why is he doing this? You know, he doesn't need the money or the attention. It's very unlike him. My friend Phil, who's a big Bruce Springsteen fan, told me that's actually, he drives a Jeep in it for like 2 shots. Apparently that's actually Bruce Springsteen's Jeep.
Yep.
Like he actually has owned that Jeep since 1980, which makes a difference. But I don't know. Apparently the ratings for the Super Bowl were the lowest they've been since 2007, which I guess was a really bad year for the Super Bowl ratings. People, I don't know. Have you ever watched the Super Bowl?
I've maybe watched a halftime special, but I
really,
I don't think I've ever like watched a game.
I'm surprised you've only watched like you've probably watched. We have watched a few Super Bowl halftime shows together. I mean, obviously the Prince one. We totally watched that together.
Yeah,
because it's Prince, for Christ's sake. Which is probably the best halftime show they've had in my lifetime. I don't know who else was good. I thought the Who's was pretty rough. Madonna's was pretty rough. I don't know.
I remember nothing about any of this. Was there a Justin Timberlake one a couple years ago?
Well, he did.
Everyone made fun of it.
He did the infamous Janet Jackson one.
He came back though, right?
Did he? I don't know.
I think he did.
Why is this? Why is this being so weird? Is it because
what's going on?
It's not updating in real time, which is frustrating. Yeah, I'll just redo it, I guess. It's like really slow.
Having preview issues.
Yeah. 8 GB video card, not enough. I think I'm rocking a
TV said the weirdest Super Bowl halftime was when Michael Jackson showed up with a deep voice or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It sounds like a lie, but maybe it's real. When Michael Jackson showed up with a deep voice, that's like a creepypasta.
Are you ready for some football? Like,
not while I'm drinking.
I'm sorry.
Are you ready for some football? Boo. Have you seen the Orange Bowl with Ashley Simpson?
No.
So remember Ashley Simpson?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
There's a really it's kind of mean. But you know, she had just had her SNL performance, which did not go so well. And then they had her play the Orange Bowl like a week later or something. And she goes out, and it was just a really bad performance. Like, I'm not going to mince words. It was terrible. And it was live. Like, they made a really big deal about her not lip syncing because she was caught lip syncing on SNL, right?
Yeah.
And on the Orange Bowl, she was clearly singing live, and it was rough. It was really rough. And when she finished singing her song, like when it like kind of came down at the end, when like there's like a big crescendo of her finishing up the song, and then, you know, the song goes like da 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 da, and it finishes, and then as the music stops, you just hear that there was a noise floor of this entire stadium booing her, and it was hilarious to hear. It was like something out of like SpongeBob or something. It was like really funny to hear. But you know, she was like a kid. Like there isn't, but it killed her. That was the end of her career, basically.
Oh, I didn't know that. Booing is really funny, though.
It's really funny. It's unfortunate how funny booing is. Let's see how bad that is.
How are the folks in the chat? They like the lights.
Yeah. It's hard to get a good...
Are
we using the same webcam? I forget.
It's probably made in the same Chinese factory. I think, yeah, you sent me one, and I bought like a similar one, basically.
You probably bought a better one than
you sent me the link.
Do you think these greens
are very wide?
These green, yeah, they're very wide. We actually are cropping in a little bit on in OBS. Have you and Ming finished Detroit Become Human?
We did. We finally did, and I think we got the good ending. We had to be careful. It was cool. I haven't played a game with her in a long time, so it was nice just kind of like making executive decisions together and
Yeah.
like swapping back and forth with the controller and stuff. It's a good game for that kind of like casual 2-player.
So Sony really jumped on to choose your own adventure style stuff with the PS4 because they put out that game Until Dawn, and it was a surprise hit. Like no one thought that was going to be like the big game that year, and it was like one of the biggest things. It was like the talk of the town for a few months. So they're like, screw it. These are accessible and they're fun and they're technical powerhouses. Like they show off what we can do graphically. So it checks a lot of boxes. Did Ming get to install her Christmas present yet?
Not yet. I still got the card over there. But yeah, no, she hasn't been on the Switch in a little bit.
For those who don't know, I bought Ming a copy of Donut County, which I really enjoy. I think she'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I like I sold it to her. I was like, remember
Katamari.
Katamari, yeah.
But you just
My God, I almost said Da Vinci Code or something like that.
Katamari Da Vinci. That's a meme. That has to be a meme.
But yeah, that was a good selling point being related to that.
So here's the issue we run into. So your hair is like super crisp in this key. Right? Like look at
Thank you.
Wait till it updates, but look at that. Look at how incredibly clean that key is. Right?
Right.
Now, look down at this door because the door is out of focus. Right? It looks strange.
Too crisp, right?
No, it's the opposite problem. There's no uniform edge hardness. So it looks kind of funny.
It's I mean, when you zoom in that far.
You know why it looks funny? You'll figure it out in 2 seconds. Now it looks fine.
I don't know.
There's no blur in the background.
What'd you do?
I didn't blur the background initially.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
That looks clean, right?
I think this looks pretty realistic. Better than I was expecting.
Hey, screw you. I did 2 days of research on how to make this look. I really...
I mean, like, better than I was expecting when we filmed it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm kidding. I actually spent an afternoon with Ryan and Corey trying to... I took photographs on my own of, like, me sitting in the car. Maybe we'll put them in, like, a behind-the-scenes video at some point. And then Corey and Ryan came over to shoot just some special effects shots of the video. Well, of just Ryan, and I made a really big deal about, like, I want to, like, match, like, the source light of the sun. Like, I want it to be, like... if we can get the shadows right, I think that's like a third of the entire image solved. If you just get the shadow and, like, that highlight on your bicep, right? Or the fact that you're casting a realistic shadow against the seat of the car, that's Christmas, man. Like, that's like, we did it, I am actually going to do a separate key for the back window because it is a little noisy. And I know you can't tell over the stream, Neil, so you probably think I'm being nitpicky, which I am. But I really like doing this stuff, and I appreciate you spending time watching me do this. Other than stupid guaranteed video stuff, what have you been working on, Neil?
I've been working on some music stuff. I have been working on a couple special effects in this movie.
I couldn't tell if you were like making quote marks with your fingers.
I just like the phrase special effects. Actually, I brought a couple books that I was going to show off when we last spoke about special effects.
Oh, I remember this book. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see it well. It's Special Optical Effects by Zoran Perisic.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I have a few. This one's called Special Visual Effects. I want to let you leaf through these books sometimes because I tried to find a couple that had like technical diagrams and stuff in it, and
yeah,
a lot of like visual examples of how they used to do this kind of stuff.
That was all I used to take out of the library back in grade school. Was those type of books and scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yes.
The great thing about having someone in soft focus on green screen is you can just do a screen softness amplification in After Effects. You can just like dial that up and no one's the wiser. So that looks pretty good.
Cool. Oh, hey, Dan is in the chat deleting messages. So thanks, Dan.
Oh, thank you, Dan. I texted Dan earlier asking for help, and it wasn't to do that. It wasn't to moderate. It was we were having trouble with audio issues, and Dan's an expert. So Dan Hamilton, friend of ours, he was in Computer Fighters. He was on the last stream. Great guy. Really, really knows his stream stuff. Probably the best streamer I know. In terms of just knowing the game, like he practically has a checklist ready. He knows his stuff. Have you streamed recently? I know you and Max have done some stuff, but I don't want to give away what it was because I feel like it's supposed to be like an incognito thing. Or that wasn't a stream.
Oh, the commentary track?
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Is that what you mean?
I guess, yeah. I don't want to give it away, though.
I know. It was just poorly publicized, I guess. I don't know. No, not really. Video chat with friends and family every now and then.
What a dork.
But, yeah, I haven't done anything public lately.
Okay, so we got this done. After Effects keylight out of memory. All right, so we're just going to close the project and open it back up. Hopefully that fixes it.
You can do a purge, right?
I have 64 gigs of RAM, and almost all of it's being used. Wow. Were you saying purge as in do an After Effects purge?
Right.
Where is that now? Under preferences?
It's under edit, I think. Purge, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they made it even easier.
Edit purge.
Just image memory.
There's a key command for it.
Let's see. Yep, that dropped my RAM usage down to 22 gigs. Thanks.
Cool.
There's still a bit of a black outline around you. I'll try and do a hard color replace with the sky blue. Oh, is it the wrong one? Oh, that was it. Oh, there's two keys happening to you. That would explain it. That explains why it looks fat. It looks what's the word? Bad. It's a Norm Macdonald delivery.
Bad.
So Neil and I were talking about Terminator 2 the other day.
I knew you'd think of that movie. Go on.
Well, what else am I supposed to think about? The music video? George Thorogood.
Bad to the Bone. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers have a song called Bad to the Bone. It's the only song of theirs I know. It's in a film directed by James Cameron called Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It came out in 1991. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton. And I was talking to Neil about Terminator 2. Neil did not see Terminator 2 as a kid. Neil did not see Terminator 2 until my 25th birthday when I rented out a movie screening room, like a small theater in Boston, basically like a 40-seater movie theater room. It was like $200 or something to watch Terminator 2. And I knew you'd like it. And you ended up liking it a good amount. I think I ruined one. I didn't ruin one thing, but I said, listen, there's like one shot at the end of this movie. You're really gonna like it. And it's when Arnold gives the thumbs up before he dies. And you said, well, what? Come on. It's not, that's one of those things. I believe that you can still spoil an old movie, but that's like the shot, right? Like,
I know it's the shot, but I managed to not know that was the shot.
I know. I know.
So it actually would have been a spoiler.
I didn't ruin the thumbs up. I didn't ruin the thumbs up for you. I ruined something from RoboCop for you.
Yeah.
Because
what did you ruin from RoboCop?
You're fired, maybe. Like, which is like
something like that. Whatever. You can't ruin RoboCop.
It's too good.
Yeah.
RoboCop is so good. Anyways, we were talking about Terminator 2, and you said something along the lines of, not that you thought they ruined it, but you thought that they made it kind of like more kid-centric, which everyone acknowledges, but you equated it to RoboCop 3 in a sincere fashion, and I'm like, wait. Terminator 2
I said it's like
it's like RoboCop 3.
My phrasing was, it's like if RoboCop 3 was good or something like that. I didn't say it's as bad as RoboCop 3. It's nowhere near
You
as
did
bad
retract
as RoboCop
it. You
3,
did
but
retract your comment after I said, wait a minute. And you're like, I retract that. Hold on.
No, I understand. RoboCop 3 is like nuclear. You don't want to just like trot it out.
Yeah. RoboCop 3 is up there with like Superman 4. Like,
it was the first sequel that's more geared towards kids
that
I thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator 2
with a robot character.
Yeah. I think Terminator 2 manages to be inclusive without losing the vegetables, so to speak, of that first movie.
Well, I don't think it's all that calculated what they changed for Terminator 2, because I think James Cameron was just like, yeah, I like doing family stuff. It worked in Aliens, and
well, it's a natural progression too, right? Like, make John a character. I do think Cameron.
Yeah, and also like, he's the kids in that movie are not like other movie kids for the most part, you know.
How brilliant! I mean, I know it's been said a million times probably over the years, but how brilliant of I don't know if you call it a coincidence or by design, but how great is it that you could just be like, okay, so Terminators come off an assembly line. There's another one that looks just like Arnold, but he's the good guy this time because Arnold probably would like to play more good guys at this stage in his career, you know. Like, all right, it works, you know. Do you remember when was it AMC or it wasn't some major movie centric consortium used to do these specials on like at 8:00 at night. They would do them like once every summer, and it would be like the 100 scariest films ever made, and they would get like a bunch of directors and actors together. Remember those?
Yeah, they were kind of like the equivalent of, you know, like I Love the 80s on MTV or VH1 or whatever.
Yeah, but like more prestigious, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and oh shoot, I just realized the scale of this is changing over the course of the shot. So 100 to, we'll just turn this off for now. Anyways, Arnold Schwarzenegger hosted the 50 greatest heroes and villains in movie history, and the Terminator was on both lists. Kind of a cheat.
Yeah.
Would you say the Terminator was a better hero or villain?
Hard to say. I don't think he fully manages either. He's still kind of scary as a hero, and he's still Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's a villain. So it's kind of like,
it's hard for us to divorce Arnold Schwarzenegger from being like that first movie. I really like the first Terminator, but it is hard for me to really get behind the whole hoorah of, oh, it's a slasher movie. It's like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like, he does kill a few people in that movie. But there's blood and it's like merciless, right? That's the whole point. But I'll never be able to unsee him on the motorcycle saving John Connor from the T-1000. You know, like, he'll always be like this cool, like, you know, he's cool. Like, I know it's dumb.
Yeah.
But it's cool, man. Like, oh, that's strange.
It's cool. No, I mean, like, that movie really leans into the whole what little kid doesn't want their own personal robot, you know, to help them.
He literally says, cool, I've got my own Terminator.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty effective hero stuff. It's really silly, but it's like very sincere in that movie.
Yeah, it's out in the open. Mm-hmm. That scene, do you remember have you seen Terminator 2 since then?
Yeah.
The scene where John starts to argue with the Terminator about helping his mother get out of the asylum, and they start arguing, and the Terminator, they're at like a gas station or something, and the Terminator grabs John for some reason, right? And John starts to scream for help, and these two like burnout dudes, these two like jocks, walk over to like help John out. because they see like an 8-year-old kid getting manhandled by Arnold, right? And then the minute John realizes the Terminator will do what he says, he orders him to like beat up the jocks. And it's funny because it's like a kid going, pick him up, like, do as I say. And if it was like any other, if it was like a straight to video movie, that's when like the really crappy like Beetleborgs flabber music would kick in. Right? But because it's James Cameron and it's Terminator, he pulls a gun out and goes to like murder these two guys, and John has to like scream, "Don't do it, don't do it," which is an important moment in that movie. But it's a great scene. If you ever get a chance, listen to James Cameron's commentary tracks, commentary track for that movie, because he's crazy technical. He really knows his stuff. Like he'll like literally discuss like why he used certain lenses and things like that, which I thought was a really like for certain like action shots and stuff. I thought, and it's really cool. You could tell he was excited to do laser discs. He was like, yes, now I can like spread my gospel about how good I am at this.
It's so weird to me that there were like commentary tracks that far back in history, pre-DVD.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Trying to do a bit of a. What's everyone talking?
Did you know anyone? Yep. Did you know anyone with a Laserdisc system growing up?
Nah. Did you?
No.
Your dad, maybe.
They were pretty. No. I know someone now who grew up, who still has like their collection. They're like a big cinephile.
Is it Jules?
No, not Jules. Not someone you know, but just someone I know who's like a big movie nerd and has like a ton of like a working Laserdisc player still. And it's like, here's the movies that like, this is still the best version you can get. Mm-hmm. And they are fun to just like look at the art on them like you would with albums. It's cool having like a piece that size.
It is strange how that happens with transfers. Sometimes a company will put out a really bad high def transfer of a movie and not resolve it. So you are like, like the best look of was it like Highlander 2 that for the longest time the best way to watch it was on Laserdisc, I want to say. They fixed it eventually, right?
Probably, yeah.
Finished it.
I know that's like the Star Wars Laserdiscs are still like a significant, at least reference. Yeah. I actually watched the despecialized edition of Return of the Jedi recently, which is just like the fan edit of where they, the guy who makes it or the community that makes it has recut and re-edited and stitched together the original movies, before they had a bunch of CGI dumped in them.
Yeah.
And the different like film stocks and, up-res cuts of the movie that are used are sometimes different qualities.
Yeah.
And so the scene where he takes off Vader's helmet, and it's the actor underneath, you're watching it, and Ming like did a double take. It's like, what's wrong with his eyebrows? And it took me a minute to figure it out, but apparently the special editions took away his eyebrows. So Darth Vader has no eyebrows. They just zapped him off. And the eyebrows were reintroduced to the footage for the despecial edition, but just tracked on, kind of like masked on. So the eyebrows are just a little bit lower
like
quality.
Milhouse's mom. Yeah, that's
it's very weird.
It is weird. Some people go too far with those fan edit things. Like they'll re-edit things for the sake of re-editing it. That happened with this isn't a fan edit, but with the Donner cut of Superman 2, they didn't have every bit of the movie photographed back then because Donner was fired before he could finish it. But Warner Brothers paid him and brought him back to finish the movie as best he could. So there was a lot of alternate takes spliced in for the sake of having alternate takes. And it's strange because there are some lines in the original Lester version of Superman 2 that are just better. Like in the Donner cut before Superman and Zod have their fight, Superman says something like, hey, Zod, don't you believe in freedom of the press? Like something like that. Whereas in the original movie, Superman shows up to fight him, and Zod's inside the Daily Planet. Superman says, "Hey Zod, would you care to step outside?" Which is like as threatening a thing as Superman should ever say.
Mhm.
The freedom of the press thing's a little more golden age, a little more corny. There's a little bit of.
I've still only seen Superman 2 like once, maybe, if that.
As a Superman fan, I think it's a bit overrated. It's got some great stuff. The Donner Cut in particular has some really powerful stuff in the second act. The humility stuff is really good in that the Donner Cut of Superman 2. Have you ever watched? I was talking to Dan about this. Have you ever watched any of those Bully Maguire YouTube poop videos where someone takes footage of Tobey Maguire in the old Spider-Man movies and just makes him a jerk? Like they'll put him in. They'll put him in movies that he wasn't in and have him just like show up and like beat up like the Terminator like in front of people. Like they're just like they're crudely done After Effects. But there's a lot of these videos, like thousands of them. Just YouTube Bully Maguire, and there's a lot of them. And it's just funny because Tobey Maguire as like a pushy like bully type is just funny. Like it's.
It is funny.
Okay, the shot's done. I've been.
Did someone
Go ahead.
Cookie Cat asked Neil, "What's your opinion on David Byrne's works, both as a filmographer and a musician, with or without the heads?" Good. True Stories is one of my favorite movies. I'll say that much.
Ryan got to see David Byrne with Saint Vincent.
Right. Pretty cool.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, it's Ming in here. Ming's in the chat. Everyone's saying hi, Ming.
Yeah, Ming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she says, "Kevin, thank you for the Christmas game. I can't wait to have time to play." And she says, "Are you excited for the new Lois and Clark?"
I wasn't until I talked to a close friend of mine today, like an hour ago, and she got to see an early cut. She got to see the pilot, the 2-hour finale early, and she said it's fantastic. And all the early reviews are hitting, and I'm hearing surprisingly good things about it. I think it's a cool premise for a Superman show. And apparently it's a bit of a prestige piece for the CW. They're like really putting a good chunk of change and time into it. It's 13 episodes a season last time I checked, which is good. It's not like they're making hundreds of episodes of this. And I guess they just announced it's going to air on 3 networks owned by WB. It's not just going to be the CW. So that's part of the reason why they're investing so much money into it. So it has a good chance of being good. It colored me surprised. I thought it wasn't going to be great, but I think it's Monday. It airs, so hopefully it's good. I could use some more Superman in my life.
Yeah. So they're bringing Dean Cain back.
Yeah,
as Superman.
Everyone's favorite Superman. My friend who actually saw saw it early or was talking to me about it earlier has a soft spot for Lois and Clark, which not my thing. Have you ever watched that show?
I mean, I never watched it growing up, possibly because I thought it was about the explorers.
It's got a. I mean, I'm sure some people who watch our stuff are sick and tired of hearing me talk about Superman. But it did some things first that it deserves credit for, because it was in the shadow of the Donner movies where Clark Kent was, kind of like a buffoon. He was almost like a caricature of a dork. Whereas in Lois and Clark, they kind of did the John Byrne, like Clark Kent is like sort of a badass reporter type, which I'll give it credit for. And obviously Terry Hatcher's great, but it's just not my thing. It was a little too studio backlot for me.
Yeah, I never felt like something that was a big deal. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, there wasn't a lot of prestige television as we know it back then, anyway. But
It really wasn't until
like for a
yeah. You go ahead.
for a Superman show, it felt like pretty worn in, you know, or like it felt just pretty like, yeah, just throw it on kind of show.
Yeah. I'll let me try this real quick. We do one thing. When I switch windows, you can see it, right? It's like delayed then?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but they're shooting it with anamorphic lenses, so like all those wide lens flares are legit. It's not a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's wider. It's a CinemaScope, I guess, 235:1, I guess.
I would really like to work with an anamorphic lens on something someday.
I could
not for the flares, but just
they make them now. You can buy
get
them.
one.
They make them for Sony E-mount, but they're only APS-C sensor format. It was a Kickstarter project. They make a 24, a 35, and a 50.
Ooh. I didn't know that.
I can't just.
I guess the pilot episode of this show is going to be straight up Lois and Clark lose their jobs because journalism is, under a certain amount of extra scrutiny. And I guess they don't pull punches on that stuff with the pilot. Like why Lois is an important hero. Lois Lane never gets her due. I love Lois. I mean, in Superman writing, she does, but I feel like for some reason or another, it just never she never blows up in the movies. Should I bother trying to do this one? This is gonna be a tricky shot. The one where through the windshield of Ryan. My God, this is gonna be a bit of a nightmare. Might as well do it now, right?
Yeah, I really want to see. Yeah, what does it look like right out of the box?
You know what show? I want to know. Are you and Ming? Have you and Ming watched that Swamp Thing show?
No. Is this new?
It's like maybe a year or two old, and everything I've read has indicated it's great. Derek Mears plays Swamp Thing, and it's on HBO Max.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't heard a thing about this.
It was so I don't know if you know this. AT&T bought Warner Brothers, and one of the first things they did was come in and say, "Why are you making a prestige, high budget Swamp Thing show?" And they canceled it, even though the reviews were stellar. But I guess they're bringing it back for HBO Max. I don't know. Swamp Thing's cool. Yeah. So I guess
he's amazing.
You can't. We can't get into it. Obviously, the quickest way to solve this is just to do. I was thinking about going into Photoshop and making a mask. No, I should key it, right? I could just draw masks around this.
See what? Yeah, see how
yeah. Let's see. Have you? What have you been watching lately? Because I know you recently got HBO Max, but I feel like that's more of like a movie platform than a TV show platform at the moment.
Yeah. What have I been watching lately? I watched half of Good Omens. I need to finish watching that.
Yeah. What's that one?
It's an old Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett book they wrote together.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it treats like the forces of good and evil, heaven and hell, as kind of like embedded spies on Earth. So it's about like two guys basically just trying to like find middle ground.
Sure.
And it's very fun and whimsical. And I read the book a long time ago, but I don't remember how it goes. So
it's a fun sensation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I read The Stand a long time ago, but I forget a lot of it. I'm probably not going to watch that show, the new Stand show. I've heard some not great things about it. That's not going to work.
Does it use Stand as the theme? By REM?
No. I've had a really hard time watching new TV lately. Did you think when the pandemic started, didn't you like feel like, oh, that's like the perk? Like I'm gonna get to watch all this stuff guilt free, and like
I'm sure I had that thought. Right?
What's up?
I'm sure I've had that thought at some point, but the reality, like the effect on my attention span, is probably made that even harder, I think.
Yeah. So
What I have been doing, I'm just loading up like Pluto TV on my phone and stuff, which is just kind of like the equivalent of channel surfing.
yeah.
It's got commercials. It shows like a bunch of old stuff. There's always an episode of Star Trek on. There's always like, I don't know, Sanford and Son or whatever. Just whatever they can license for cheap, they'll show continuously on these kind of
Unsolved Mysteries.
fake TV channels. Like, here's a channel that just shows this one show, basically.
Did you recognize the TV show from my shirt?
No. Oh wait, what is that? It's what's it called? Heat Vision and Jack.
Good man.
There we go.
I love Heat Vision and Jack. Heat Vision and Jack, for those who don't know, was a failed television pilot from 1999, I want to say, written by Dan Harmon and Rob Schrab, starring Jack Black and Owen Wilson. Jack Black,
The voice.
Owen Wilson
right?
is the voice of Jack Black's unemployed roommate who gets turned into a talking motorcycle. And Jack Black is an astronaut that gets too close to the sun. So whenever he gets exposed to sunlight, he becomes the world's smartest man. No one who worked on this was famous at the time other than Ben Stiller and Christine Taylor, who is in the pilot. And it's funny as hell. But Fox made the pilot, spent a lot of money, looked at it and said, why did we fund this? And they pulled the plug, obviously. But you can find it on YouTube.
Fox. Man.
It's so funny, right? Am I out of school? I mean, would you agree? It's pretty.
I remember it being funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Fox isn't above that. They did at least a season of that Chris Elliott show. They did
You kind of
all sorts of weird stuff in the.
You kind of like that show.
Kinda.
What am I doing wrong here, Neil? I'm like getting lost in the effect here. Ryan's disappearing from the past.
Well, it's not green on the window shield, but it is hazy enough. I don't know. It's hard to get right.
I thought I had done enough of. Right, let's look at the original again. I guess I should just do like you know what? This green isn't rich enough, honestly. Like, I need to make that green background more green, right? So maybe just bring the whole shot down. And then
maybe
go in the middle here. Oh, they change this again. Maybe we move a little further away. Oh, you know what? No, let's do it cleaner, much cleaner. There's like 4 ways to do this. And I guess I'm just going to go about it this way. So there's our friend Ryan Murphy. So that's everything in the shot that's green, which is why we're having so much of a problem. So let's just make it just the most saturated bits. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Invert the mask. And let's tint it magenta, I guess. Yeah! I love that sensation. Okay. Yep. Let's see. This is a very static shot, so maybe I could. Maybe I'm starting to think maybe we should just like, it just looks funny. Like, it's clearly keying Ryan, you know? You see it?
What's the problem?
It's clearly keying Ryan. Like, Ryan's like skin tone's really screwy. So it might be worth just manually masking it. Because, like, watch him when he moves here. He barely moves. Like literally, this is the shot. Like he. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw that mask over there.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Maybe I should do it in Photoshop. I don't know. I don't know what's been on your mind lately, Neil. You should be the one talking, and it's rare for us to be on microphone and have
It's
me
hard. Well, I got
lead the conversation because I'm so talkative.
It's hard because I'm reading the chat and looking at what you're doing and talking to you at the same time. I'm amazed I'm doing this well.
What is the chat saying?
They're talking about They Might Be Giants albums.
They're talking about them. It'd be funny if like you read the chat, they're all like Superman sucks, and you're like, oh, they're talking about They Might Be Giant. Like I want to get Kevin off of this. Yeah, maybe we do this in Photoshop because like you can't really quickly do a mask like in this that will meet the contours of these edges. Why is I just don't understand.
Yes, this is.
I don't know why it looks so. Oh, you know what? Here's another fix. We do this shot would be challenging. It's very low coach.
And now the whole chat is talking about Superman sucking.
Really? I love Superman.
They're all like, "Oh, Superman sucks."
He's like Spider-Man, but first.
Superman isn't good.
That's a good crit.
I can't find it now, but someone said like, "Oh, his cape is bad" or something like that. That's a good line.
The cape's the best part.
Yeah, I like the cape.
I love Superman's costume.
Keep the cape.
Superman's costume rules. I've talked about this before.
It should have the word Superman.
It probably does, and it probably does if you buy it at like Bradley's for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I should know. Radioactive Man.
Yes.
Have you watched any Simpsons lately?
Yes. What did I watch? Well, it wasn't like that recently. I think I probably talked to you about it. What episode was it?
Was it old? New?
I don't know.
I assume it was old.
It was on the older side. Yeah, I always go for like the first 8 seasons.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I'm trying really hard to.
You know what? I have to tell you about. Have you ever seen the drug PSA that at least that some of the Simpsons people worked on?
Does like Bart give the PSA?
No, it's the Land of Decisions and Choices. I gotta watch this with you sometime. It's not very good quality on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a Dare. It's a Dare project.
Mm-hmm.
I think it may have been like not online anywhere until recently, maybe something like that.
Lost media for a while.
Yeah. So 2018, it got uploaded. It's called The Land of Decisions and Choices. Who directed it? Trisha Garcia and Michael Polsino.
I don't know those names. I thought you were going to say Brad Bird for a minute because he was kind of their pinch hitter.
So Michael Polsino definitely worked on The Simpsons, a bunch of Simpsons stuff, Family Guy too. And Trisha Garcia also.
We won't hold Family.
Also, plenty of Simpsons. Not as big on the directing side though. Well, it looks like she went on to direct a bunch of King of the Hill. Anyway, some Simpsons people animated on it, and you can really tell. Yeah. It doesn't feature the Simpsons, but it features Simpsons-esque children. The humor is kind of very it's really funny. There's a rabbit that's like kind of like the one who talks to the kid.
Like one of those Life in Hell rabbits?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It feels like a Life in Hell. Yeah.
Ooh, I'd actually really like to hear it talk.
Let me just send you a picture real quick.
Sure.
Send it to you on Hangouts, I guess. Where's the window? I have so many windows open. That's why they call it Windows 95.
9012. 9011. No, 9021 would be the right joke.
9011.
Okay, did you send it in Hangouts?
I sent that to me. I sent it to my wife by accident, but that's okay.
I can see how you can confuse us. We both like Carla Urban a lot. And we both watched Smallville growing up. So I just went in and did like, I just kind of drew around Ryan, and then did a lumetri layer, applied that mask to it, and I turned off all green in the car, like, and anything that wasn't the window. Like I just desaturated it. This is one of those things that Photoshop might have been the quickest way to do it. But this might make the key easier. Let's see. Neil, I'm glad you play video games more now.
Not a ton more. Probably not the games you play, but
I mean, I
compared to like
I haven't played Detroit Become Human, but I used to play David Cage stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it's nice to be able to talk about like a full-blown game like that.
Yeah.
Usually when I do play stuff, it's like pretty indie and low budget.
Yeah. Man, this is just not agreeing with me, huh, man?
I mean, throw a background on it. I think you.
No, but the car's transparent. After Effects is also starting to run real slow, so maybe I should just close it real quick. Because After Effects has memory leaks. Even though I did a purge. Okay. Did you send me that thing?
Purge. I sent you the rabbit.
Whoa. It's got a bit of a Hey Arnold feel to it.
Yeah, the rabbit looks like he's about to crack at any given moment. It's really funny. They knew exactly what they were doing, and I'll send it to you later.
Have you ever seen the first batch of animation for the season 1 Simpsons episode, Some Enchanted Evening, the Babysitter Bandit episode?
Yeah.
It's cool.
I believe so.
It's weird. Like I'm glad I can see why they sent it back, but yeah, they were just trying to work out the kinks. This is obviously, I'm not trying to explain to you, just to anyone in the chat who doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about. But one of the first episodes of The Simpsons was called Some Enchanted Evening. And when Klasky Cuspo sent over the animation, I think it was them doing it at that time, they got it back and it looked real rough. It was over animated. The boards didn't match. The Simpsons were kind of like loosey goosey, you know. But you can find it online, and they ended up reanimating most of the episode. But you can find some parts of that episode on YouTube, and it's very strange looking.
I mean, the way they animated that episode is pretty like off the wall, right? Like as it aired.
I just said the name of it. What was it? Some Enchanted Evening? I don't know.
Is that the one with the babysitter who...
Yeah, and I don't know how smooth this will look over the stream, but this is how it came back. And they did leave a few of these shots in the final episode because they didn't have the budget to redo all of them. But just look how different this looked.
Oh, that's so cool, yeah.
It looks like Family Dog. Well, Family Dog looked better. But this was like the first time someone was... I mean, you have to understand, there hadn't really been like a primetime animated sitcom since the Flintstones, right?
I learned about one recently that is... I can't remember the title. It's one of those like lengthy 60s titles that's like...
Mr. McGorham's...
Who's that at the door?
Yeah.
It's like, but there was a Simpsons-y, Family Guy-ish family sitcom around the same time as All in the Family that was animated.
That tracks.
It might have been, I think it was a Hanna-Barbera. I think it was Hanna-Barbera trying to branch out into like...
I was going to say, it sounds like something they would do.
Of course, they have a lot of shows. And here's the master list. Let's see. I can go back to the 60s.
I just got an email from somebody trying to make an earnest movie review show. And it literally, the headline of the email is, hey, Didn't mean to steal your idea.
Oh,
I'll look
so unique.
I'll look into that later. Anyways, I hope this is exciting for people.
I'm just trying to...
These are really boring effect shots. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. So the show I was thinking of is Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And I watched a little bit of it, and it's got like kind of it's a more minimalist style where like the backgrounds aren't filled in half the time.
Yeah.
But the look of it feels kind of like 70s Simpsons-ish, I think. I was surprised to see it something that looked like that on TV like for 1972.
Yeah. I'm doing a very crude job with this. But it's surprisingly, there's a lot of green in this for some reason. Maybe I need to fiddle with like the tolerance of the key more. I don't know.
The white and black input or something.
Yeah, it just seems rough. It's too
I usually move the screen balance up and down a little bit, see if that helps.
Well, that's like a pedestal, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of like the minimum at a let's see. Because I'm just gonna draw out some...
screen balance.
Yeah. I'm just gonna draw these ones out for now. I'm basically just masking the whole thing. Oh yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That is totally going to be the way to solve some of this. Because I usually do clip black and clip white. But you're right. These are such hideous, hideous shapes.
Just throw a little bit of feather on them. It'll be okay. I think maybe screen balance has more to do with the...
it's absolutely the right way to go. Like I'm looking at it, I can already tell. You're right. You can see a little...
Okay.
It is... Oh, man. There's just so much transparency, and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like... Let's try this. Ooh, that looks worse. It just looks... What are we doing wrong here? I look like such a professional. This is my day job, by the way. But we're losing so much in there. And I turned off all green. You know? Like, here's the original shot, right? And then I brought down the exposure a bit.
Yeah.
And then I got rid of all green. Like, that's the green. It's gone. Let's try this. Let's push some of the green a little further into orange. This is so finite, no one's going to be able to tell what the... we're getting into Ryan's skin tone. This is a very strange shot of Ryan to be looking at this long, too. Let me throw a background on. Let's see. I don't want to just keep freeze framing the live video. I do want to use static shots that we got with the drone in the background because I like how it breathes, like the clouds moving ever so slightly. Yeah. Like, that's not bad. The giveaway will be things like you can see windmills in every other shot.
Not when we were growing up. Those are new.
They're great. They're really cool looking.
I agree. Not everyone does, though.
Yeah, well. No comment.
Oh, we should have a shot of us flying through the blades of a windmill.
Like in Mission Impossible 3. That's what you were
thinking.
thinking.
Do they do that?
Right?
Do they go through?
They do. When they're rescuing Kerry Russell.
Oh, cool.
I like that movie. Oh, this is an ugly shot. It's just so bad. Oh, boy. Here's the source. It makes sense that it would look bad. Maybe it just needs more of a general magenta tint before the key. You know?
Can I see what's wrong with the key again? Is it?
It's just very transparent. It's a hideous shot.
Like on Ryan or
The car and everything, because there's enough green in the surrounding area because of all the green screen behind him that it's casting the windshield's catching it. So there's just a little. It's almost like there's like a green filter over the whole shot. You know?
Yeah.
And this is a shot that we stay on kind of long. So I'd like to figure it out. We could always come back to it, but that's like famous last words stuff. You know? Because, yep. Might as well do it now. It's not the worst. But, like, you can really tell where I drew those masks in because the key's so gross.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you add some feathering to some of the masks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy way to do it is the little search bar in the timeline right above there. You can just type in feather and it loads up all the feathers.
Yeah.
I just somehow never tried that. I never was like, oh, a search bar.
This is ugly looking, man. Ugh. Maybe I need to start it over. You ever have that moment where you're just like, I'm in too deep with all these fixes? Like, because here's how it looks originally. Look how green his skin is. Right? Now, if I turn that on.
Yeah, it's very green. It looks like some green got on the windshield or something.
For sure.
Like we just left one up, maybe.
That
shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Neil, you got any new music you've been listening to?
Yeah. But what was it? My memory is shot. I have been listening to some of the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack.
It shows back in the air again.
Did you ever watch it?
Very little, and I should watch the whole show.
Yeah, same. I've seen like 2 episodes, and the music's great. The episodes I've seen were great. Should probably just watch it.
Yeah. The Blu-ray set occasionally is incredibly cheap.
I think we might have like an ancient set of the DVDs laying around somewhere.
Yeah.
What else have I been listening to? My Spotify has a lot of kids' music mixed in because they don't let you, not incorporate that into the algorithm. So it's smart enough to recommend me like, here's stuff that you like to listen to, and here's also a bunch of baby music. It doesn't like try to find a happy medium between the two of them.
How convenient. I'm wondering if we should just.
That's good.
It's pretty.
Here's about 80s music.
Oh, sorry. Yep. I thought you were talking about the shot, not the music. Sorry. You said a lot of 80s music.
Yeah, tons of good 80s music on Spotify, and it seems to know me well enough to recommend me some good stuff.
Do you remember being a teenager and making fun of 80s music was kind of just expected? Like everyone was like, oh, I like everything, but I don't like synth. Like that was before everyone said I like everything but country.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a time where like 80s music was dated but not yet retro, I guess.
Before synthwave and vapor, before that movie Drive came out.
Even before then, like
Yeah,
I don't know, when kind of in the 2000s, we got some songs that kind of sounded like new wave, the Cars type music, you know,
the Killers and stuff like that.
Yeah, like 1985 by Bowling for Soup. But I don't know, like what's the big like kind of like fake 80s band from that time that wasn't just a joke?
I was about to say everything I'm thinking of is kind of ridiculed, right? Like who did I believe in a thing called love?
The Darkness.
Yeah, kind of.
But no, that's like it's a joke, but that was a genuine. Well, it's a great song, but that guy was like clearly like this is cool sounding, like
killing himself.
This sounds.
Yeah, this is the laziest fix I've ever done. By the way, I'm literally just applying a blur to everything that's not Ryan in this. And hoping it's like the Vaseline we need to get through this. I might just, after this, call this shot quits, and if it's hideous when we go to edit, we'll fix it later. I don't know. It's a lot of work for this one shot. But this is an important shot. But Ryan's like color is getting stretched too thin. Like, we only shot 8-bit, as I brought up before, so I can't go back in now and make Ryan look more. I'm worried I won't be able to go in and make Ryan look less purple, because I had to make him kind of purple to go against the green, so we wouldn't key out his skin, you know? So, we'll see. I don't know, what's something else we could talk about? You and I talk about a lot of stuff during my work day. I just leave Gmail open, and I tend to bug you.
Let's see.
What's in the news today?
I'm looking at the
That was a joke.
Oh yeah. No, you know, it's kind of like that. I was like, oh, they're doing a thing now. They're doing an impeachment thing. I guess. I don't know. I don't see it. It's not in my house. I should probably read up on it. I want to say, I think Daft Punk qualifies. They made a lot of like deliberately 80s sounding music in the 90s.
Yeah, very true. I think the Killers might have been that band for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're more Europop sounding. This doesn't look... it doesn't look... It's getting better, but I feel like I went about it the wrong way, man. I feel like I didn't...
It looks good, actually. I wouldn't go back. I think the blur cheat you just did...
Big cheat.
Pretty much works.
Yeah.
Did not do it on the side of his headrest.
These two are where I did it. I almost think his headrest should be... Yep.
Well, it's like blurry at the bottom. Yeah, see where it kind of like drifts off of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Pick a side, I guess.
Not my best. Could also put in my favorite cheat, which is just a vignette to pull the whole shot together.
That looks pretty good. It's also going to fade out halfway through, right? It's going to start fading into the next shot.
It is a bit of a long take. Ugh. I did you dirty, Ryan. I made you look weird. What color are Ryan's eyes? Blue, right?
They're blue, right?
Yeah.
It's that shot in Friend or Foe where you like really brought it out, remember?
Yeah, I went all Daniel Craig on him.
Yeah.
I was so excited to show him that. I was really Friend or Foe. I basically wanted to make that for the sake of like making a really pretty comedy skit. I wanted to like prove that our stuff like could look nice. I think it turned out great, even though some equipment failed us that day. You remember that? The Ronin.
Yep. Yeah. I think we all had to like move the camera around because it was just the three of us.
Yeah.
Like you have Ryan holding the tracking shot of you and me at the beginning.
For people who don't know, we made a movie that took place in the woods where Ryan was like this Robin Hood type, and storyboarded it, put a lot of effort into the color grade later on. I was pretty happy with it. All right, now Ryan's eyes are like real blue. Those masks might not stay dead on, but he did not move that much. I brightened up all of Ryan, so like, oh, that's intense. Hold on. Went to Daniel Craig on him. Okay.
Make his eyes glow red.
Like Janosch in Ghostbusters 2. The only movie I referenced.
The only character from the only movie you reference.
He lived in the Upper
Janosch.
West Side. Johnny, where the hell are you from anyway? The Upper West Side? I think I got one more left in me. Do you enjoy doing this, or is it kind of be honest, like is it kind of like a tax on you? Like just to like
Attack?
no, a tax. Like watching me do this stuff.
No, it's fun. For now. No, I mean I'm glad to help you like troubleshoot stuff too.
Yeah. This is the shot it has to match with. You see the problem? Oh, you're in a delay.
I think you could, yeah, blumetry that a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're close enough. You can go on.
Yeah. I'm really pushing my computer with these right now. Let's probably do one more. The sound's going to do so much of the heavy lifting in this too. Well, maybe I could do our favorite shot. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which this?
It's a good shot.
Getty Images.
Oh, that's right. You're on a delay. I keep forgetting.
Oh yeah, this. Yeah, if you want to do like the first shot,
Let's see how hard it
because
will be.
I am doing the particle effect. Yeah. I guess you should, because we have to figure out like what's the lighting gonna look like in this, and
Oh, wait, you're right. Should I not bother with it then? Because I won't be able to complete
well,
it.
like the amount of tinting that is probably going to be happening might affect some decisions in terms of like how good it needs to look.
Oh, so you want to talk like art? Your game to do like art direction stuff for this tonight? Like.
Oh, I don't know.
I was, because I could do like I'm thinking about the hair. The hair is the big thing, you know?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, so you could like focus on that, but I'm just saying like stuff like green spill might not be as big of an issue because we'll be like tinting everything kind of orange.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump in.
Someone says, I want to say I really like how Guaranteed Video films their shots, especially ones like this. What inspired you guys to make these kinds of shots? I think they're talking about like our angles and our kind of dramatic cinematic stuff.
I've always pushed for us to, what's the best way, how to best put it? I always liked things that looked competent but were clearly incompetent. That's like my type of humor.
Yeah.
Like professionalism that you slowly realize is non-existent is like one of my favorite types of humor. So I really like our movies to look as big and as filmic as possible. Like I'm to a fault. I sometimes push us too hard to accomplish visuals that aren't really going to result in the audience. I mean, I'll say this much. We are a YouTube comedy troupe that has like screened our films like at numerous film festivals now. And our stuff does hold up on a big screen. And I'm proud of that. You know, I am proud of that. Like this here, I mean, if you don't know, this is just a Dutch angle. I don't know if it's like patronizing to point that out. I might not even key this shot. I might actually roto the whole thing, Neil. Because it might be easier. Like you saw what I just did, right? Like that was actually a lot easier than
Move my head in this shot. Yeah.
So like I'll say this particular scene, when it was written, I wrote it pretty hastily. But when we were talking about the joke and coming up with direction on set, the entire direction, the flavor in the air was we're going Ren and Stimpy for this scene. And I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's obvious that that's what we're going for. Why did it do that? Huh. Oh,
this movie like basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You go ahead.
This movie kind of skips a scene to like the desert island losing our mind scene.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it becomes apparent that's where it's gonna go.
Very Beavis and Butthead in that regard. Like the time jump, like the hopelessness of our heroes, that kind of thing. This here, there's also some. Would you say Henry Selick? Would that be the comparison you draw with some of the cinematography we go for?
Henry Selick, like the director of Monkey Bone.
Yeah, like there's some stuff coming up. Who? Forgive me. Who shot Addams Family? Not the director, but who shot it?
Barry Sonnenfeld. Oh, no, the director was Barry Sonnenfeld, who was a DP, but not on Addams Family. Look it up. Cinematographer.
Man, I can't spell anything. I got the title wrong. I got the
Owen. Let's see. I'm getting Owen Roisman. Born in 1936. Yeah, he did the Addams Family.
This
movie.
was definitely a Barry Sonnenfeld scene. Some of the, I mean, namely the Morticia Addams lighting. We do that on Neil coming up. We also I'm a big fan of needlessly strong backlight, hair light, edge light, as some people call it. Because
I wish we could do that more often, even when it doesn't make sense, like a reverse shot or whatever, where there's still light behind everyone.
We totally do it in this. Yeah.
I'm doing it right now.
So why is it gray outside of? Oh, that's funny. I just took all the green out of the shot, and I didn't apply this mask to it. I don't know what else. I mean, I could say a lot about our cinematography, but I'm trying not to ramble about it. I mean,
most of it is kind of we storyboard, but we have to make a lot of decisions on set just based on like here's where we can move the camera and where the actors can stand. And filming inside of a car, there's only so much you can do. So
yeah, that was definitely the acceleration necessary. Acceleration is necessary in storytelling. And when you hear the word acceleration, you probably think things getting faster. Acceleration actually means any change in movement, right? Like taking a turn is accelerating. Mm-hmm. And that's why people talk a lot about character development. You want your character to be somewhere different by the end of a story. And in something like this, we're stuck in a car. There's a limited vocabulary of spatial exploration you can do. You are going to have to put a wide lens on, and we do have some wide lens stuff, as you can see here. But by the end of the adventurous beat of this story, when things start to get more dramatic and hopeless, I actually did put a lot of conscious decision making into the framing and the pacing of the edit. I was talking to you about this, Neil, like 2-3 weeks ago, when you guys realize you're doomed. Like I wanted that to be like legitimately like, okay, this is like legitimate direction. You got to treat the scene serious for the joke to be funny. And I learned that by listening to an interview with the composer of Beavis and Butthead Do America, whose name I don't recall, but he, in an interview, said that he got asked to score Beavis and Butthead Do America, and he didn't know what to do. So he had been taught by Elmer Bernstein, like he was like his protege, I guess. And Bernstein told him, like, listen, when you're doing a comedy score, the key thing to remember is don't let the audience know you're telling a joke, because that ruins the joke. The audience needs to discover it. If you're playing like waka waka, like goofy music, and you really hang a lantern on a joke, it sucks the fun out of the joke. And if you look at all of Elmer Bernstein's comedy scores, he played them straight. He never hung a lantern on the jokes. And that totally is how Beavis and Butthead Do America was scored, and it works great. And I think that applies to our style of comedy too. I think it's funnier when no one's like, we've tried to get away from people just screaming, or like loud noises. I mean, we do that
fairly often,
but it's usually when there's.
I just action. Today watched. Oh yeah, I watched GameCube Controller earlier today because Darcy wanted to watch something, and that's one that does not have any heart and soul to it. It's just
here's a joke.
Just
yeah. This is fighting me. This doesn't make any sense. Look at this.
The color? Or?
Look at that. Oh, it's because this is frustrating. There's a glitch. I hate that. If I scale it back up, it'll go away. But that's really frustrating.
So you need to do this shot and then
blow it back up in Premiere. Yeah. I hope what I said didn't just sound pretentious. I'm thinking with both sides of my brain right now, so I'm probably not giving the most eloquent answers. But I genuinely like. I work corporate video during the day, so this is important to me. Like, it's an important way to exercise new tools, like learn new things, and just maintain my sanity. And it gives me the ability to hang out with you and Ryan. So.
And Dan sometimes.
And Corey.
You're still out there, Dan. Oh yeah.
This is dumb. So now I have to make an adjustment layer and apply the transform there for the 150% scale, because After Effects can't handle scaling footage, apparently.
I get it. I mean,
it's just math. I should know.
Yeah.
So what we really need to do here is a Luma key. Okay, here we go, Luma key. So I guess, what would you do, Neil? Would you make what I'm about to do a different layer, or try and do it within the same layer? Because you know what I'm doing, right? I'm going to take how bright Ryan's hair is versus the background.
Right. Yeah, I would, yeah. That's tough. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best way of kind of like splitting up zones would be for this kind of thing.
Let's think it through. Well, here I think I'm just going to draw this over here, the headrest behind you. So why don't I do that first?
Yeah. Yeah, the hair probably should be a duplicated layer.
Yeah.
Just try and match the whatever color changes.
So I guess I'll just draw like kind of like a bounding box around Ryan and go from there. Is this stressful for you, Neil, to watch me do? Because like you're like a really good After Effects artist, and is it like watching? I don't know. Like, I've been doing After Effects.
Well, no, because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really have this skill set. Like, you know, probably more about Lumetri and Keylight than I do. You just have more experience using them.
Yeah.
You use features that I've never touched.
So hold on. So I guess we're just gonna.
But I definitely like get ideas watching this kind of thing and think like, oh, what if you just did this? And then like, but those are the kind of things that I'd need to try and see if it even makes sense. You know.
Well, that's the stressful thing about doing After Effects on a stream, is that it should be a science, but as you've seen, it just breaks. So you
Yeah.
have to go like, okay, I guess I gotta rethink this. Or there are just things mathematically that your brain can't see. Like say, well, that doesn't look green, and the scope doesn't say it's green, but buddy, there's some green in there, you know? So
yeah. So that kind of stuff is more finicky than like I know how to confidently address. But stuff like this where you are doing special effects that have unique challenges.
Like, look at that. Okay. Sorry, like it just did it. It just did the thing. Where like at like my mask.
Oh, okay. Is it scaled 100%?
I guess okay. I'm just gonna go in and just reframe it later. But man, that is annoying. That entire thing I just drew. Anyways, see, case in point, folks. They might as well just redraw it, right?
No, you can just move it. Scale it down.
I'm gonna redraw it. Anyways, what were you saying? Before I scream.
What was I saying?
You get ideas watching me use After Effects and vice versa, I guess.
Yeah, and like doing specialty stuff like lightning or bats or special light glints on a key. Stuff where you kind of have to like start from scratch, and it's kind of hard to look up like a tutorial or any sort of guidance on something so specific. I do enjoy like trying to figure that stuff out because
it's like animating, making something whole cloth. Yeah,
and often the solution is there's no right or wrong solution, and you might come up with something that no one else has thought of before.
Yeah,
which is the fun thing about After Effects for me.
I've brought this up before that when we were like kind of cash poor and younger and just hungrier filmmakers, and you just couldn't dedicate X amount of money. We were always buying tools piece by piece, like, okay, now we have a camera, but we don't have good lights, so we'll just get cheap painter lights, etc. Whenever we would get like a new tool in our toolbox, figuratively or literally, that would always be the thing we had to employ in the next video. Like, okay, we got a strobe light. What can we use a strobe light for? And I feel like watching someone else play with After Effects is like getting a fake new toy, because you watch a plugin or you watch how someone else uses a familiar tool to you, and you cook up a new idea by watching them use it. Like there have absolutely been times, like when we were doing Computer Fighters, there were times you sent over rough effects, and just the byproduct of making certain effects, you'd get like these really cool abstract images in After Effects and in Photoshop that would inspire graphics later on in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's subtract. That looks okay. Really, I'm just gonna draw it.
I spent a little time earlier today just like messing around with text titles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about like how like in this video earlier on I used the kind of like the star filter effect on the key, and I'm always trying to make like 80s style titles with like with lighting effects and trying to recreate old effects. I was watching Mick Shark earlier. I just clicked on it because it was on your channel. And the Mick Shark title is totally like my first attempt at that sort of thing. It's like the exact same like aesthetic that I still try to do. And I was like, man, I just haven't progressed at all, have I?
I feel that way about a lot of the projects I work on. Don't worry. Mick Shark has like that word art look to the title, right? Like it looks like...
Yeah, it does. I think my thought was like, I want to make it look like, like a golfing video game or something.
It absolutely does look like that. So much to the point when we made Computer Fighters, I said, hey, there should be a McShark game in the arcade. And I showed you like some old like pool video games from Sega Genesis that had like the exact same like typeface that you used for the old McShark video. I hope people watching this know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay.
Fear Fighters was so much fun to design.
8 months.
Because yeah, there was a lot of time to cook up stuff, but it was a lot of like font research I did just to find like I only want to use fonts that were designed before a certain year in this movie.
Before computers were invented. Sorry.
Yeah. A little bit.
This rotoing this is actually making it real easy because the camera doesn't move. So
Did we come back to the shot?
I hope so. So I'm just gonna draw out around Ryan's noggin.
Hope this works.
Shut up, Neil. It's gonna work.
I've tried this many times in Photoshop, and it does work sometimes.
Look how gross that looks. Sorry.
Well,
it's just gross. Like, all right, key out darker. Gotta fix my bad mask. So if there's a black background, it probably won't look that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It might be orange.
Yeah. But if that's the case, we just won't finish the movie and we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, sneeze.
Isn't there like some sort of a matte cleanup effect, like a choke or something like that? Matte choker. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's not good at all. Why would it? Okay.
Simple.
Do you ever think back to Louis at Plymouth Rock Studios when you start playing around with this stuff?
Not specifically.
He was like the first After Effects person I knew.
I definitely think back to stuff we did back then, like first learning After Effects for the very first time, maybe on
It's the World
like World Wide Web. I think we had to like key Ryan and like how do you add a glow outline to somebody? And I think we just used like the default orange red stroke on Ryan in every shot.
I actually think this looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a black halo.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing to do, Kevin. Open up levels or curves, whichever you prefer.
I know exactly what you're going to tell me to do. Yep. It's much more nuanced than this crappy Luma key. Maybe it isn't.
There's got to be a better. No, do it before or do it after Luma.
Really? Oh, okay. I thought I thought your strategy was going to be make of just the contrast of the image before using Luma key. You're saying make what's black in the image look less black?
No, click the RGB drop-down menu and pick alpha for your channel on levels.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can kind of adjust the not the RGB, the alpha. And you could maybe like pull the middle one up a little bit. Not yeah, you wouldn't want to touch that.
The delay is probably going to drive
you would
crazy
just want
on this.
That's what I'm talking about, where you're just kind of adjusting the feathering and like kind of creeping it back in a little bit.
I think, honestly, if we just make sure that this window behind Ryan... no, it's dancing bad. If we could just make this window behind him darker, it would solve a lot of problems. Like this might be whenever
Look,
we have.
I'm just saying, like
yeah.
We didn't notice that there was no green screen in that window, so maybe the audience won't either.
Look at this shot. We're so. I couldn't believe when we looked at this. I was so angry. I'm like, why did we notice? If you look at the original shot, it's just there's like a garage back there. Like, how did we not notice this? Also, now you're keyed in front of yourself. That's a trip.
Whoa.
It's like Ryan's remembering something you said earlier now. Wait. All right. I'm getting goofy. I think that's a big shot done. I mean, there is this space behind Ryan. If you look, I mean, I think that's a green screen with a white, really hard white spill on it. Maybe I should roto that. Just roto it, like just draw around the back of his head.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't save his hair in that situation, but
yeah, it could also just be part of the car.
Kind of, yeah, it doesn't look like anything that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Put it in the IMDb goof section preemptively.
Yeah, like that guy from the Turtles being in that Ernest movie. So that's a big one done, man. That's a big shot.
Cool.
And that was shot 75. Yep, we do come back to that take. It's like 2 shots later. God, this is gonna look good.
Yeah. Zoom on the bats effect. I got the trap code particular, so I don't have to use the slightly crummier After Effects default particle things.
It
works a little better.
We're gonna be so tempted to put a reflection of something in your glasses in this shot, by the way, like the moon or like skulls.
The sun but also put it behind it.
Well, this is actually, it wouldn't be that hard. Just take this. The sun is actually the one to go because you don't move that much. You're pretty static.
We've got to cool off somehow.
Shit, we should have done this shot first. But yeah, no, that's a great idea. No, I really like that. The sun in there. Yeah, that's a great way to connect the dots. That joke makes no sense, by the way. Whenever people watch this, that line was so funny to us, but the more I ruminate on it, the more I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
that's so funny. It should be getting cooler as the sun sets, but for us, it means that it's too hot.
Oh, jeez.
What's going on?
Put Shrek in the reflection.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I noticed in some shots, straight up, you can see the script in your lap.
I think we knew that.
Yeah, we'll live.
Shot. Oh, you had to kind of like this one. You scale it up, right?
Yeah. A lot of color work in this.
You could add some text to the front of the script that says like, I don't know, how to escape a car or something like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, okay, yeah, no, that's a good joke. How to escape. Broke up there a bit. Well, it's getting kind of late.
You could write.
So we should probably hop off anyway, right?
Yeah.
We should do this again. And maybe, I mean, I don't know. I guess we just do it this way next time. We go through Discord. Did the chat seem to enjoy the audio quality? Was anyone complaining about that?
No. Everybody was just kind of trucking along. They were all talking about us and how great we are.
That's how we like it. You have no idea how frightening it is to have coworkers discover these videos that we've done. Every now and then when I'm talking, because I'm like the media guy in my department. I'm like the video producer. And every now and then someone will ask a question like, I don't know, is it possible to do like a 3 or 4 person talk show format with one person on crew? and I have to tell myself, don't show them earnest roulette. Don't be like, I know how to do that. But you know,
Pretty soon your normie coworkers are going to be like, well, who's Ernest? And then you're going to have to show them Ernest.
that's the only solution. Or I could just not bring
All
up
right, well.
Ernest. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Man, I
Talk to your boss. We're going to have a movie day.
What was that?
It's just like, it would end up like you screening an Ernest movie for the department or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. I remember thinking about screening computer fighters at my previous office job, and then I decided not to do that. But yeah, maybe next time we do this, we'll figure out what's wrong with Hangouts, because Hangouts was the way we did this with Dan, and I feel like there was less lag, and the audio didn't break up as much. And maybe there's a way to pipe in your microphone and camera directly to my computer. But we'll do some research on that.
Yeah.
This was very swaggy, says Cam John. Tom says, as Kevin's colleague, I want to know why you don't Photoshop me into Muscle Man photo. Tom, I'll get back to you later about that. Jeez, I didn't realize all these people were watching. Thomas Shalfor, everybody. Good man. Well,
that was 69 watchers.
Cool. I hope people like these. I'd like to do more. I'll bug you next time, Neil. Your lighting is fantastic.
Thank you for the Christmas present light that you got me.
I like buying my friends lights. I got Tom Shalfor a light. I got him a one of those little smart RGB LED panels. I got the one I got Ryan. I got for Tom as well. I thought that it would fit their line of work. And the tube light I got you, I thought would work very well for your next album cover, should you do a similar type of photo. So that's why I got it for you.
I'll definitely use it all the time for like streams and stuff. I like having the colors and background. I'll send you a video. Me and Ming were like messing around with it the other day on the webcam.
Yeah.
And just like putting our hands into it and stuff, and like it turned out pretty fun.
My lights, I have like some Fresnels and some panels and stuff like that. But I thought you'd like a tube light because it was a really clean way to get a long edge light on you, because that seems to be your style of photography. And I could emulate that. Like right now, I just have this little like RGB, like I don't even know how many LEDs are in it, but I could do any color I want on it. But I'm using a really crappy webcam. So if I change the color temperature on it or whatever, I tend to lose my white balance. Now I'm just noodling with lights because I'm bored. We should probably pull the plug, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Here's the light you can see.
Cool.
Whoops. There's my ceiling.
There we go.
All right, I think everybody's kind of preemptively saying goodbye to us.
Yeah, they're like, okay, they're running out of steam. I finished this Diet Coke 2 hours ago. Okay, well, the cops are here. I'll see you all later. I hope you all have a great night. And we'll do this again soon.
Alrighty.